Hello and welcome to my first lesson in Packet Tracer. This will be the first in a series of lessons that I'm going to do, and today I'm going to show you how to set up a DHCP server. DHCP server is a lot easier in the IT environment. It allows us to set up IP addresses automatically rather than assigning them manually. So it saves a lot of work for the network administrator and it makes things a lot more accurate, avoids IP conflicts and things like that. So it's a really important piece of kit. So in this first lesson today, I'm going to show you how to set up two computers, a switch, and to configure a DHCP server. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the bottom left of the screen and I'm going to go to network devices. No, in fact I'm not. I'm going to go to end devices and I'm going to pick a generic PC and another generic PC, and then I'm also going to pick a server, generic server. So I've got the three pieces of kit that I'm going to do. The next thing I'm going to do is put in a new switch. So I go back to network devices, I'll go to switches and I'll pick a 2960 switch and I'll pop that there. So I've got the main components that I need to build my network. So I just now need to go over to the lightning bolt and start picking the cables. So I'm going to plug in the three cables. So Ethernet to port 1, Ethernet to port 2, and Ethernet to port 3. I'm going to use the fast forward time button. The switch is configuring and booting up and setting the status of each of these to live. If I just go to fast forward time, it speeds things up. That's just one of the quirks of the Cisco package trying to make things look realistic. So I've set that up. The first thing I need to do now is go to, well, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this first computer, I'm just going to leave it on a static address. This next one I'm going to set to a DHCP address. It can't actually pick an address up yet because it'll just pick up a default one because we haven't configured the server. And I'm going to show you two ways to set this up then. So I go to the server and I'll go to desktop, and the first thing I need to do is give this particular server an IP address. It's a DHCP server, but we mustn't give it a DHCP address because this is the server that gives out addresses. So this gets a manual address of 192.168.0.1 and I did that 192.168.0.1 and we'll put in a 255.255.255.0 address there. So that's our IP address set up. So I'll go to services and I need to go to DHCP. We're not using V6, so we're going to go to DHCP. And the first thing I'm going to do is turn the service on, something I quite often forget. So I've activated the service, so the service is now ready to give out IP addresses. So I click this bottom column here, and you'll see it's 192.168.0.0 as the default. So I'm going to change it to give out addresses from 100 onwards, just for today's example. So I enter 192.168.0 to 100, and I click save, and you'll see it's changed it to 100 there. So now we should be configured. So if I go to the first computer, I go to IP configuration and I change it to DHCP. And when I click this button, you should see to the side here, it picks up an IP address of 100 being the first one. So I click it. It says request an IP address and it's giving it 192.168.0.100 as we expected. So I now need to go to the second server, and this time I'll go to the command. Well, if I go to IP configuration, it's already picked it up as 192.168.0.101 because it was already on DHCP. But what I can do is I can go to command prompt and I can do ipconfig/release, and that will give away the IP address, and then ipconfig renew, and there you are, it's picked it up 192.168.0.101. To test if it all actually does work, I'll ping the server. So that's ping 192.168.0.1. That was the address we gave the server. And we get a ping. And the other machine was 100. So 100. And we get a reply from there as well. So everything on our network works. There is another way we can carry out ping as opposed to doing it manually. If you go to the bottom right and you open up the management window here, if you click the envelope and then I click a computer and then I click the device I want to ping, you'll see it says successful in the screen here, and I can click delete. So I can click envelope and it'll tell me if it's worked or not. And that's pretty much how you set up a DHCP server. I hope you found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Thank you.